I'm very excited today. I get to talk to Ben Casmer. He's our Senior Vice President of our Houston region for this Chief Chat. And first, I just want everybody to learn a little bit about you, Ben. So just tell me a little bit about your wife, your kids, your family. Just tell me about yourself personally, and then we'll get into the business side a little more.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. So I'm the proud father of 4. So I have 3 girls, and then my youngest is a boy.
I
actually replicated my family. I'm the youngest of 4. And 3 older sisters, so I have no sympathy for my son. So
I had no idea about that. That's really cool. So
Thank you. Been married for 16 years to my lovely wife, Jamie.
Congratulations.
I'm also an Aggie.
So
gets me in a little trouble around here, but
well, there's 2 Aggies. Y'all, at least you have somebody at compadre. So.
Misery loves company.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Ben, I'm going to throw you off guard a little bit. I was going to really go into your career, but tell everybody the reason I point out your ring, there's a story behind it. I think it's a really cool story, so tell everyone about your ring. Tell them the story.
My ring. Sure. So I lived in League City on the southeast side of Houston, and Harvey came through. And as everyone might remember, Harvey had a lot of damage everywhere throughout the city, and so I was mucking houses where we were tearing out sheetrock and carrying furniture and all those things with my church. And there was a couple that my wife and I met as we were volunteering with that they went to some of the same houses that we went to and helped us out. And throughout the 2 or 3 days, we got to know them. And my wife is clinical, and the husband of that couple was clinical, and there was a gentleman there that was immunocompromised, and so they both started talking about, okay, you shouldn't be in this mess. You make sure you're being careful.
Right.
And so they started talking about clinical things and being in the healthcare field. And I was like, well, hey, you're new to town. Where probably a doctor. What are you doing? It's like, yeah, I'm a family practice physician. And like, okay, well, who are you working with? I know some folks. It's like, well, I actually just got accepted into the astronaut program. So I was like, cool. All right, pick up the other side of that couch, and we picked it up and started lugging it to the curb, and we've been fast friends ever since. So his name is Frank Rubio, and he actually got stationed on the space station, and we're good friends with them. And one of the things that astronauts do is they are able to fly things. So they're able to fly, small things. They have a ammo box full of personal effects that they can take up.
That's cool.
He said, would you like us to fly anything? I was like, well, I know you're an Auburn fan, but what do you think about my ring? Would you mind flying my ring? So he flew it.
That's awesome.
And then he got stuck. He got stuck on the space station.
Yeah.
He was up for 377 days, I believe. So a meteorite hit his return capsule, and he was stuck up there. So my ring was stuck on the space station
for over a year.
For over a year.
That's awesome.
So,
that's why I love that story. That's why I said, and you got a ring, because I was like, I gotta make sure everybody hears the story. I just think it's a cool story. So,
yes. Very proud.
Yeah,
very
I bet.
Proud of that. So.
All right, Ben, you and I really have very similar backgrounds. We actually worked for some same companies, hospital companies in the past. Tell us a little bit about how did you get in healthcare, your background in healthcare, and then how did you get to Capital Imaging Services?
Sure. So I initially started out in my undergrad at A&M. I was pre-med. So I knew that I wanted to be a doctor. I had a good friend in high school that was in a car accident, and I, at that point in my life, knew that healthcare was for me.
Yep.
So I wanted to be part of that.
Yep.
And my GPA at A&M thought otherwise, that maybe being a physician might not be the solution. But the business side was really where my strength lied. So I went to Trinity University and got my master's in healthcare administration. And after that, I went to Community Health Systems, CHS. So it was an executive development program
which is the same, like I'd work with a lot of those guys. So that was our similarity. Yeah.
Yep. So learned everything about a hospital, how it all works, how it all flows, and worked my way up through. I was with them for about 7 years and worked my way up to being a hospital chief executive officer. And then COO of a hospital here in Houston, where that's what relocated me to Houston. And then got on with Alliance MRI. So Alliance Healthcare Partners brought me on to be their regional president over all the imaging. So I was with Alliance MRI, and then about 2 years ago, roughly,
Yep.
we were joined with
Good word.
Imaging
Good
Services.
word.
Right, joined. So
Partnered.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So been with Capital ever since. So
Cool. Yeah, so Ben, Capital Imaging Services came into the Houston market. We had PARS Imaging in Baytown. Then we acquired Houston Premier Radiology in the Pasadena area, and then had a large acquisition, which is when you came within Capital Imaging Services with Alliance. And then recently we brought on Houston MRI. So revenue size wise, now it probably Houston will be, if not at the end of the year, will be our largest market by revenue. So just sort of tell us a little bit about, like, hey, how has the transition been, getting all those sites to work together, and the good, the bad, like what's working well, what do we still need to work on? How's that going in the Houston market?
Sure.
Yeah.
So the Alliance group was, as you know, what I was over initially.
Yeah.
So that nine group, and then we.
So you knew those.
Right.
You knew
them pretty well.
that team pretty well. Yeah.
So then we had a period of time where it was Houston Premier and PARS were the two that were new to the Alliance family,
Right.
kind of.
Right.
And so that was kind of the initial foray into, all right, how do we play in the same sandbox with one another?
Right.
They were kind of competitors, kind of sort of previously, and so how do we work together now?
Right.
So we had a little bit of time to do that, and have done a stellar job. The crew in those locations have done an awesome job. So it was really, once Houston MRI became part of the family, and Dr. Fritsch and his team built a wonderful facility, and a wonderful company of facilities. So that team is all about teamwork, and they're all about helping to support one another, and so it's been pretty organic. It's been pretty organic with the Alliance crew and the Houston Premier and PARS crew and Houston MRI. Everyone seems to be programmed that we're here to take care of the patient.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
If that's at my place or at your place, we're here to take care of the patient. So let's do what we can do to get them in and get them taken care of, and get them answers. That's
a neat mindset. It's like, and we've had to do that in New Orleans, we've had to do that in where we had other partnerships, acquisitions, and it's really neat to watch that come together. And I know, man, I can see like in your face, like, man, it's just really been, and just talking to you, Houston MRI coming in has been probably less stressful than you probably imagine.
Yes.
And I mean, just talking to you, I see that, and that's really neat, and again, end of the day, like you said, we're here to take care of the patients. It doesn't really matter which site they're going to, we're all part of the same team now. So it's pretty neat listening to you.
And such a huge credit to the managers, the marketers,
Absolutely.
The crew at the locations. Like, they're open arms.
That's cool.
They're open arms about, sure, yeah, this patient isn't a great fit for us, so maybe they can be seen more quickly with you guys. So it's all the crew. The crew is amazing.
That's neat. Yeah, you do talk about them a lot, and just how they've meshed together, the employees, and how that's been a very positive for the Houston area. So we're excited.
Looking forward to the future growth.
Absolutely.
They're hungry for it too.
Yeah, absolutely. So. Ben, it's been great learning something about you. I knew most of that, but I did learn one thing, and hopefully, the employees now know a little more about Ben Casmer personally and business-wise. How did you get to where you are? And we're just excited, like you said, for the Houston market, the expansion we hope to continue to have, and really just your great leadership over this region, and just how it's progressed from here. But thanks for being with us today. Thanks for participating in the Chief Chat. And, hopefully the employees now know a little bit more about Ben Casmer.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.